And welcome back, guys, today to the final episode of the series, Mixing Vocals. Why don't we just dive in, get right started, alright? So today we're actually going to look at a vocal I did on my most recent cover, You Reign Above It All, by Bethel on their new album. Go check it out, it's killer. So I soloed our lead vocal track here, which is Vox 1. And I turned off all effects and reverbs and delays I have on it. Let's just take a look at what it sounds like dry. On the cross, the work is finished. God, you poured out your life just to give us new life. FYI, I used an SM58, which is a really common vocal mic. I highly suggest it. It's great for live and in the studio as well. Now let's take a look at the first move I did. We have a little bit of EQ here. This is really basic for vocals. First, you want to roll off all that bassy low-end garbage you don't want. I rolled off about 72, and then I took out a bit of 2K because it was a little like piercing for me. Let's take a look at what that sounded like with and without. On the cross, the work is finished. Yeah, you don't want that in your vocal. God, you poured out your life. Just a little bit. Just to give us new life. Brings a little bit of clarity. There you go. And then I like to add a little bit of high end. I'm going to add a little bit more high end in the next plugin we have. But you want to have some really nice top end on your vocal to make it cut through, but not be too loud in your mix. So that's what this high end's doing. It's really essential. Here's that with and without this EQ on there. On the cross, the work is finished. God, you poured out your life just to give us new. And you can see so far with that EQ, it's just such minor improvements, but it just makes it so much clearer and a little bit more upfront. So let's take a look at what I have next in the chain. I adore this plugin. It is the CLA Vocal plugin. This plugin is awesome for a bunch of different reasons, but I mainly use it for a little bit of EQ and a good amount of compression here, and a little bit of stereo widening here. So basically I'm adding a little bit of low, a little bit of highs here on the lower and top settings of this plugin. You can change these sub, upper, lower, bite, roof, top. It's just, you want to play around with the plugin and see what sounds nice. I'm basically adding some bass and treble here. And then I add a good amount of compression here. You want that thing sitting really constant and really nice up in front all the time. And then you go in and you automate the volume of the vocal. That's how you get dynamics out of a good sitting vocal like that. You have to put that time in. So for the CLA vocal, I'll show you what it sounds like with and without. Again, it's adding a little bit of low, high, and compression. Let's see what it does. On the cross, the work is finished. God, you poured out your life just to give us new life. It's nice. It adds a little bit up front. It also gives a little bit of volume. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing there. And then next in the line is so controversial. We got some tune here. If Luke Hendrickson can put auto-tune on a vocal, we're all allowed. So I'm just doing a little bit of auto-tune here with Waves Tune. It's really cool because you can do it in real time as well, so there's no latency. Next up in the line, I have CLA 76. This is adding a good hand of compression as well on the bluey setting. Let's see what that's doing with and without. Watch this needle here and see how much dB we're compressing here. On the cross, the work is finished. God, you poured out your life just to give us new life. That adds a really cool pumping sound. I love this plugin, especially on vocals. And then we finish it off with a little bit of de-essing from FabFilter. This basically takes out the s and the f and all the really ugly sounds that comes with adding a lot of high end in the EQ of your vocal. So this just takes out a lot of the harsh frequencies. So let's see what that's doing with and without. This one's really cool because you can really spank the crap out of it, but it won't pick up on any of the vocal that isn't in that specific frequency range, which here is 4K to 13K. So let's see what that's doing with and without. On the cross, the work is finished. On the cross, the work is finished. See how it's dialing down about 4 dB on those shh consonants? So that's all that's doing. That just kind of gets the piercing nails on a chalkboard high end of the vocal out of there. That is all I'm doing. And then just with a little bit of delay and reverb, let's see what that vocal sounds like. On the cross, the work is finished. That sounds really drowned out, soloed, but you have to add your delays and reverbs in the context of the mix. You want it to fill out enough space. Let's see what it sounds like in the context of the mix with and without your wet effects. On the cross, the work is finished. God, you poured out your life just to give us new life. And that's why you have to judge your wet effects in the context of the mix, because that isn't overpowering at all, but soloed it might be too much. So that is all my advice I have on how I mix all my songs, guys. Thank you for checking out this mixing techniques series. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me to do. I love mixing. This is just simple techniques that I've learned through my 5 years of mixing. And guys, if you enjoyed this, please feel free to subscribe, like this video, and share it. And thank you guys so much for sticking around during this series. I'm Potocki, and I will see you in the next video.